It is day 23 of the Diddler trial, and it is also Friday the 13th. What are we doing? Now, I'm actually really playing because it's actually Monday for me. I am doing this because but I was too messed up Friday, but it was just a lot Friday, and I did not do my Diddler recap. So if you are seeing this video after day 24, that is why, because I'm doing this on private now, and then I'm going to make it public, and it might just become public after I do day 24. So that is why. And no, you are not tripping. Did you miss me? But let's just get into it, okay? So juror number 6, Brian, with his whole chest out, is just going on and on about this, right? He's just like, this is nothing new. This court has been new about the jurors doing this, that, and the third. He's talking about how the juror 6 has been doing a little sneakiness, and that's why everyone's got a thing going on of what's going on with juror 6. And he's just like, everyone knows that the jury does this. The court knows this. And the judge is like, what you talking about? Don't nobody know about this. This is new to all of us. So what you talking about? What you know, basically, type of thing, you know? And so they are just going back and forth because the defense truly wants juror number 6 to stay their ass right in that seat. While the defense is like, nah, hit the road, Jack. You gotta go, because you want some other shit, basically. And so that's how that whole thing went down. And the judge is like, yeah, just like we just found out. The court just found out. And then Brian continues on. And he just goes on and on and on, right? And so Teeny Garagos, she's looking over like, dude, you need to stop it. You need to calm down. You need to have a seat, basically. But Brian just wanted his time again today. He brung that mess today. What is he on? That mess. Another thing that happened today, Justin Combs, he was sitting in the audience, in the court, of course, on his papa side. But while he's sitting there, he's got his arms out on the bench, and he's got his fist balled up on each end, like he ready to do something. And Tisa, hey Tisa girl, Tisa told me, she was sitting behind him or whatever, right? And she could see that his knuckles was just, she could see that with her bare eyes, that he was really having a moment over there. Like, what is this about? What are you doing, sir? Why are you allowing people to even see? Do you know we can see you? She saw it all. And if Tisa seen it, I'm sure everyone else seen it who was even closer than Tisa was. And it's just like, dude, calm down. You're in a courtroom. You see what your father is here for. Your father is the one on the stand. Like, sir, calm that down. Just have a seat. Well, have a seat. Just put your hands down. What are you doing? Like, I don't know who was on each side of him. I'm sure it had to be a family member too. Probably Janice, whatever. I don't know who's on the other side, but the fist is balled up. I don't know what exactly the testimony that was going on at the moment where he was like this, but apparently he was like this for a lot of the time. So after Brian Steele had his moment, he was basically sent to the corner. He had been sitting next to Diddy this whole entire time. After this whole dispute, Diddy didn't even want him next to him. Like, dude, you doing too much today. Like, even Diddy didn't even want to deal with him. That's messed up. Like, even Diddy, you too much for Diddy. Like, Diddy, like, look, you playing. This ain't the time. This is crunch time. Diddy keeps having these bad days, and this was just another one. Offhand convo in the jury. To be, hold on, let me read what it says so I know what to say. Jury intent, move with girl last. See, most of the time, not sure how much. Oh, okay. So the whole thing with juror number 6. The whole thing with juror number 6 is he's playing on his where he really lives. He said he lived in two different parts of New York, two different times. Once he lived with his sister, next he lived with his mother or his girlfriend. No, he lived with his girlfriend one time, lived with his mother another time. And it's like a conflict of interest here. So you have to be really upfront, 100%, really, really real, not even playing. There's no gray area. When you are a juror, you have to be coming forth with every single thing. Like, they don't play, don't play, play, don't play. And so even something as this, they are not playing with. Like, you can't even, you got to be real about where you live. And so at the end of it all, he was saying that he lived here on the weekends and lived there during the week and whoop, whoop, whoop. And it was a whole misunderstanding, whole thing. Judge was not feeling it. So, yeah, that's how that's going. So we'll see. But we know now that Judge got rid of him. What else happened? So when I went to Inner City Press and I looked at their notes or whatever, their text messages, Mr. Perez was on the stand. He was subpoenaed and given immunity. He talked about how Diddy always carried a Gucci pouch with money and party favors in them. They talked about Rob's text to contain it. They talk about how he joked hints about there's no residing, there's no Adderall. He did not steal. Oh yeah, so there was this whole thing about him because he had the pouch and he would say, hey, if there's no residue and there's no residue and no Adderall, he did not steal it because he was told to go get the pouch at some point. And yes to obtaining, he said yes when he said that he obtained the party favors, and a handful of times he would get the party favors from the outside. And it would be cocaine, Xanax, and Molly. It would be paid with cash from security or from the Gucci pouch. That Gucci pouch is famous. Where that Gucci pouch at? The security is Fahim. So you're gonna hear Fahim's name a couple of times. So that's the security. Shoot, Fahim might, when I had wrote, Fahim might want to jump into this on this witness list real quick because, bro, you look like you might be, but he might be a witness for Diddy. Diddy gets the case next week, and it is going to be, woo, that's going to be crazy. That is going to be crazy. He calls Fahim Fa, and he said, talk about him. He texted he needed 700 for Guido for party favors. He said he'd wait for money from TriStar. Diddy's business partner, he calls him Mr. Combs. He interacted with Robin Greenhill. That is who he interacted with when he had I don't know if he got there or he talked to him. Oh, a FaceTime. And so then they talk about a FaceTime from Diddy from Jane's house. That's what happened was. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right now. I'm trying to get it together. I don't know what's wrong with me. But there was a time where he had called FaceTime Diddy, and Diddy was at Jane's house. And so they had talked about that and how he interacted with the Robin Greenhill. What happened next? He talked about how later on, after he had got the party favors for Diddy, he ended up dropping off Diddy at Jane's later. And the FaceTime with Diddy while Jane's face was turned so you couldn't see. But probably that night, that was another night where Diddy beat Jane. And that's what they were alluding to. Because they're asking him questions and he's answering them like this. He's talking about how Jane's face was turned away, But that time on the phone, Diddy was angry and pissed. Um, they talk about how Perez told KK and Diddy was arguing with Jane. So that shows that KK, you know a lot more than they're saying that you do. Um, there is a text message that they're talking about that says that they need cash for his guest ASAP, and that was on 6/20/2024. But he had no idea what the money was for. So he knew. So he was saying that he's getting all of this, but he didn't know what the money was for. I mean, he probably knew it was some mess up stuff, but he didn't know specifically what the money was for. Perez says he left the job to avoid situations like this. Because what the hell? What the hell is going on? Um, After that, Brian Steele did the cross, and he asked us, Combs comes off as a motivator. He said yes. He said, "You see him cry in his hands, Perez. Have you ever seen him cry?" And of course not. I can't remember cry, but he said he remembers him being upset. And then what else went on? They asked him had he's ever seen Diddy with a weapon, ever seen Diddy without a weapon. He answered no, never seen Diddy with a weapon, only security. So they're trying to get out the fact that Diddy had any weapons on him, I guess. They asked, and Jay replied was nice to see him. Perez called the nights at the hotel King's nights, personal time. They're trying to get over the fact that, so what they're trying to figure out is if Perez was doing this on personal time or on company time. And if they can get this that he was on company time, then that can prove Rico. But they are trying to twist. Brian is trying to twist around that this happened on personal time and not during business time. But if you are his assistant or whatever, what other time is there? Because also the fact is Perez worked long hours. So they're saying that, the time got twisted a lot. It got blurred. When you work long hours, your personal time and your business time, it gets blurred from which is which. But Diddy was on some personal stuff all the time because this is what he was on. This is all, you can't even call this a personal thing. This is some effed up mess. This is what it is. And I wrote, why are all these nights called something different to everybody? Because, for Cassie it's the freak offs, for someone else's hotel nights, for someone else's entertainment nights, King's nights. Now it's like been 4 different names for what this is. You ain't slick, Diddy. You ain't slick. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. He talked about buying PF personal too. He was like, right, and buying Jane's lingerie. Oh yeah, he's talking about the items that he had to buy during his time there. So this proves that this is some personal items. This is not business related. So I don't understand how this shows anything good for Brian Steele because he's doing the cross right now. This is just proving to me that, yeah, you absolutely were doing some private things for Diddy during your business hours time, which is some illegal stuff you were in. Well, you were a part of at least. They asked if Jane seemed willing to participate in the freak-offs. The state objects, but it's overruled. And they say try to ask for a small amount about, I don't know what I wrote. I don't even know what I wrote right there. Oh, and I wondered this. Still asked about if KK and Diddy's relationship was sexual, and he said no. But I don't buy it. I really don't buy it because I feel that Diddy would try anything. Diddy would try anything. Absolutely would try anything. So I just wonder what was there, because maybe not in front of people, but when it's just them two, KK and Diddy, I just wonder. Um, and of course, Brian wants to sneak in that that Jane was very jealous, and it was suspicious. He asked about the purchases with cars, and if he purchased everything with card, he said yes, but don't know if Mr. Combs paid. But ain't that who you work for? I mean, who else would it be for? Right? That's how I feel. He mentioned that he got rooms in his name, and he helped set up cameras. Um, Steele proposes an exhibit, and there's a sidebar. Brian continues with no exhibit, so whatever it was, he wasn't able to show it. And he said this. So then he goes on to the messages, and it's a text of Jane cooperating in setting up, and she's requesting tea and honey to go with a little heart emoji. And he replies saying, "Have a good flight. Send pics of you and the blank gang." Don't know what the gang is, but apparently it's some word that we don't know. Um, what else? As a Sunday judge has ruled for the device one to be submitted in evidence. Diddy could have been trying to pull KK back in when he noted after arrest scared of her to flip. Okay, so what that means is after KK went ghosted, because she ghosted right after the arrest. Apparently, there could be a reason why he said things that he said in this text, because he's saying that a lot of stuff, and it looks like he's just trying to get her back in his good graces because he knew that she was gonna probably flip. Hmm. Who knew, right? So that was that for day 23. Now let me get on to day 24, and I will see y'all in that video. Bye. Or y'all probably saw that one first and started to see this one. So, hey, boo, hey. Sorry I'm late. Bye-bye. Love, love.